Today we're going to look at why the modern environment is killing your sleep. I'll see you inside. I find the fact that despite sleep being likely the most vulnerable state a organism could possibly be in, it's a process that occurs in all humans and animals. Sleep is a state in which we physically cannot react to any external environmental danger. But yet, the processes that occur during sleep are so important that all animals and humans still sleep. With that being said, it looks like we do have some adaptive traits that allow us to discern whether or not our environment is dangerous and either not allow ourselves to go to sleep or wake up during sleep. And if we're looking to get the best sleep possible, we want to put ourselves and our brain specifically in a state where it believes that we are as safe as possible. And this is where it actually appears that our ancestors were much better at this than we are today. Quite simply, the optimal sleep environment would be if we put a comforting bed inside of a cave. This cave would be dark, quiet, and the temperature would fluctuate the same as the environment. And this cave model of sleep is what I would refer to as the sensory deprivation model of sleep. And what I mean by this is that it seems that the way that we sleep best is by reducing the amount of sensory and physical stimuli in the environment as much as possible. And now, how can we do this in the 21st century? The first thing I would do is to make sure that your room is pitch black. But with that being said, even small flashes of light, like ones created by a phone or an alarm clock, can actually still disrupt your sleep. To combat this, you could actually wear a sleep mask so that no light can actually make it into your eyes. However, it does seem that when you get light on your skin during the night, that also will decrease your melatonin production. So something like blackout curtains and turning off as many, if not all, of the lights is also going to be extremely helpful to get the best night of sleep possible. Simply, the darkest environment is best. And the next piece of sensory stimuli that we would want to delete or reduce is sound. But we specifically want to reduce random or unique sounds. It seems that a constant noise like pink noise may actually be able to promote sleep. And there are a few different reasons for this. Simply, it could just be blocking out other noises from the environment, or it actually does seem that this type of noise can actually put our brain in a specific wave pattern that promotes sleep. But we would certainly want to reduce obscure noises like falling asleep with the television on. However, I know that oftentimes we have no control over things in our environment, like if we live by a busy street or we have other members who are awake far past our bedtime. To combat this, we could simply wear something like earplugs to block out all of the auditory stimuli in the environment. So now that we are blind and deaf, let's look at our breathing. Many experts actually argue that our ancestors were much better at breathing than we are today. And there's likely a multitude of factors for this, and I can't really choose just one, but it appears that our ancestors actually were nasal breathers most of the time, and they did not breathe through their mouth as often as we do today. And especially during sleep, if we're breathing through our mouth, we have a profoundly elevated risk of simply not getting in the sufficient amount of oxygen during the night and waking ourselves up. Additionally, we might put our brain and our body in a hypoxic state if we don't wake up, but we're just not getting in much oxygen. However, as long as your nasal passages are functioning properly, if we begin to breathe through our nose, we'll get much better oxygenation throughout the entire body. And this is where the most obscure sleep tip that I have comes in, and that is putting something over your mouth so that you cannot breathe through your mouth during the night and you are forced to breathe through your nose. And once again, if you have any difficulty breathing through your nose, such as just stuffy sinuses, or maybe an abnormality where you can't actually sufficiently oxygenate through your nasal passages, then you will probably find out rather quickly that this tip simply just does not work for you. However, there are other devices, such as a sleep apnea machine, that can actually help you breathe better if you do have to breathe through your mouth. However, if you are capable of breathing through your nose, but at the moment you simply can't keep your mouth shut in order to allow your nose to do the breathing for you, you can simply just put a small piece of tape over your mouth, which will keep your lips shut during the night and allow you to breathe through your nose without having to try. And the people that I would recommend this to is if you wake up throughout the night feeling as if you are suffocating, which is referred to as sleep apnea, the first thing I would recommend is going to a doctor and getting this checked out. The other people I would recommend this to is someone who reports excessive snoring during the night, excessive thirst in the morning, or simply just waking up with a dry mouth. If you wake up in the morning or even throughout the night with a dry mouth and you are thirsty, this is because you are breathing through your mouth and simply just dehydrating the cells in your salivary glands. And now these are physical things that you can do to promote your mind to produce the neurotransmitters to allow yourself to relax. However, it does actually appear that there are other things that we can do to actually put our brain in a state where it can relax throughout the night. And now all of these things are physical things that we can do to try and put our brains in a state where it can sufficiently relax. And in next episode, I'm going to talk about the dietary patterns that can also help promote sleep. So I want to say thank you for listening, and I'll see you next episode. Have a great day.